Good morning. I'm Gregory Mason, and welcome to First Presbyterian Church for Olympia Brown Unitarian Universalist Church's service. Before we start, let's have some announcements, and we'll start with Corey.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Corey Mason, our co-president of the board. The announcement is how the pledge drive did. Many of you heard this all on Friday night, but even though we have fewer members than we've had in the past, we raised slightly the largest ever for our pledge drive. So thanks goes to the pledge drive members, who were Susan Binzel, Shirley Reynolds, Linda Weatherby, and there's one other person. Diane, could you please come up here? So, for the whole team of you, thank you very much for all of the hard work the whole team did and your leadership. We really appreciate it. Side note, I'm coming in with this thing and she's going the other way and she says, "Oh, that's a lovely plant." And I went, "Thanks." Good.
Corey, that probably worked out well. At least you know she liked it. The auction committee welcomes your best quality used valuables, food offerings, and all sorts of sign-up events, gatherings ranging in value from $15 and up. The website is open now. Go online to upload your donations today. Don't wait. I did mine. It's really easy. Instructions are in the church newsletter. Be creative. Be generous. Remember, we are in this together, heart and soul. Got two announcements from the 8th Principal Committee. As a follow-up to the open conversation concerning the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, we will be reading The Lemon Tree, an Arab, a Jew, and the Heart of the Middle East. We will meet on Zoom on April 17th and 24th from 6 to 8 p.m. See Roseanne Mason for further information. Second one, at 12:30 today in Erman Hall, Reverend Darren Utley and Dante Cottingham will lead an open conversation exploring the inhumane conditions in the Wisconsin state prison system and pointing to possible solutions and actions. Lunch for those attending will be at approximately 12:25. The next Raise Right deadline for paper orders is next Sunday. See me if you need a form. April 28th will be the North Beach Sunday morning play, beach cleanup, and breakfast potluck. The treasurer position on the Board of Trustees has been filled. Thanks to Steve. But the nominating committee is now searching for an OBUUC member to serve a 3-year term as member at large. If you are interested, please contact Anita Miller, nominating committee chair, or contact any board member directly. I want to mention the front door is open. I know it had been locked for quite some time while there were repairs, but it has been open. So if you end up coming in a little late and the door is locked, you can come around to the front. Or if you just want to park out front and come in the front, that's fine too. Thank you to our volunteers today, our ushers, Nancy Hennessy and Pam Smiley, our Zoom host, Anita Miller, and coffee hour hosts, Joe Puroy and Luan Wells. For more information and details about all these announcements, along with others and community announcements, see your weekly emails. Please join us for coffee hour in Erman Hall following the service. For those joining us on YouTube, log into Zoom after the service for your coffee hour. The link is in today's email.
Morning. Welcome to Olympia Brown Unitarian Universalist Church. Welcome to everyone here in person and everyone joining us on YouTube, both now and in the future. I am the worship leader today, Alex Riley. My pronouns are they, them, and it is good to be together. Together in this co-created sacred space where all are welcome, no matter how you experience or express gender, you are welcome here. No matter who or how you love, you are welcome here. No matter where you are from or where you are in your journey, you are welcome here. No matter if you come full of energy or find yourself running on empty, you are welcome here. You are a part of a beloved community that is sacred because each of us is sacred. Each of us is always held in a larger love. It is good to be together. We begin our service with a shared ritual by lighting our chalice, the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. As we light this flame, let us remember the flame that burns in each of us, flickering, guttering, blazing, ever burning, ever changing, no two the same, yet every single one bringing a little more light to the world. Please rise in body or spirit to sing hymn 1028, 1028, The Fire of Commitment in the Teal Hymn Book.
And now it's time for the message for all ages, so if all the children and those young at heart can come on forward. Good morning. Today I'm going to read the story, I Have a Little Problem, Said the Bear. I have a little problem, said the bear. You see, of course, said the inventor. I know exactly what you need. A heavy bear like you needs something to make him feel lighter. I have just the thing. He got a pair of wings out of his workshop and fastened them to the bear's shoulders. Said the bear. Then he shrugged and went along, looking worried. I have a little problem, said the bear. You see, oh, indeed I do, said the tailor. Your wings are very handsome, but you need a scarf. And he wound a long scarf around the bear's neck. Said the bear. Then he shrugged and went along, looking worried. I have a little problem, said the bear. I am just the man you're looking for, said the hatter. Now don't say a word. I have just the thing for you. And he placed a fine hat on the bear's head. Said the bear. Then he shrugged and went along, looking worried. I have a little problem, said the bear. I can tell just by looking at you, said the doctor. My special vitamins will have you fit as a fiddle in no time. He handed the bear a box of vitamins. Take one every morning. Said the bear. Then he shrugged and went along, looking worried. I have a little, said the bear. Problem, said the street vendor. But I have the cure. This little charm will bring you good luck wherever you go. And he hung a silver pig on a chain around the bear's neck. Said the bear. Then he shrugged and went along, looking worried. I have, said the bear. Well, I can see you have a problem, said the eye doctor. That's why I'm here. She placed a pair of glasses on the bear's nose. Now, isn't that better? Said the bear. Then he shrugged and went along, looking worried. I have, said the bear, a little problem, said the shopkeeper. Well, never you worry, my dear. The honey will sweeten up your life in no time. And she handed the bear a jar of honey. Said the bear. Then he shrugged and went along worried. I, said the bear, you have a problem, said the shoemaker. You need boots. She pulled a pair of boots from a box. A real bear needs real bear boots, she said. And these are the best bear boots I have. A perfect fit. Said the bear. Then he shrugged and went along, looking worried. At the top of the hill, the bear stopped. He looked back over the town and shook his head. He was worn out. The bear unfastened his wings. He took off his hat and scarf. He took off his glasses and the pig on a chain. He kicked off his boots. He set his vitamins and honey on the ground. Then he sat down on the hill and sighed. What's the matter? Asked a fly on a blade of grass beside him. I don't want to talk about it, said the bear. No one listens to me anyway. I'm listening, said the fly. Tell me about it. I have a little problem, said the bear. You see, I'm afraid of the dark, and I'm alone in my cave. There are no other bears for miles around, and I don't know anyone who wants to sleep in my cave with me. I dread the darkness all day long. That really is a problem, said the fly, but I have a solution. It just happens that I'm looking for somewhere to live. A bear cave sounds very cozy. I could move in with you. What do you say? Said the bear. I feel better already. So the fly hopped onto the bear's shoulder where she made herself comfortable. Then off they went together, looking happy. Okay, it's time for the children's blessing. Ready? We are blessed We are blessed by being here. We are blessed by being here together. And now can you sing the leaving song that's in your order of service?
There are many ways we give to the life of our congregation, and the monetary offering is just one of these ways. Each month, we partner with a local organization that is doing really great and meaningful work in our community, and we share the money that we gather. Our partner for April is Racine Women for Social Justice, whose work unites and empowers Racine area women through education, conversation, critical analysis, collective action, and leadership to identify, interrupt, and dismantle racism in the community. We are truly honored to be partnering with this organization this month. Thank you for your continued generosity. Part of being in community is sharing our lives with one another. We share our joys, we share our sorrows, trusting, knowing that this space and these beloveds can carry both and all that is in between. In just a moment, I will invite you forward to light a candle, or if you would like to share a joy or a sorrow and then light a candle after. In this practice of sharing, we remind one another that this is a practice of sharing what is most heavy, what is most joyful on our hearts, with the reminder that we are also gathering together virtually. So a practice of sharing what is ours to share. Will you join me in the spirit of prayer, the spirit of meditation? Spirit of life and love, it is good. It is so good to be together. Here, may we be reminded that together we hold our joys, we hold our sorrows. Let us be grateful for this space that welcomes us as we are, invites us to practice who we are becoming, holding us in and through continued transition, with a reminder that we are not in this moment, we are not in this world alone. Spirit of love, be with us as we know all too well the brokenness in our lives and in the world. May we remember, hold those places around the world suffering with violence, suffering with fear and hatred and indifference. May we send that love. May we work to build that world we dream about, that beloved community where all are called in and no one left out, that world of peace. I invite you forward now to light a candle to share a joy or a sorrow with us this morning. We light a final candle for the joys and sorrows that remain on our hearts, the joys and sorrows on the hearts of our beloveds joining us online. Spirit of life and love, help us remember how deeply connected we are. Encourage us to ask for help when we need it and offer support as we are able. We are in this together, this interdependent web of all existence, brought together by hope, held together by love. Will you join me in a moment of quiet to pray, to meditate, or to dream? Amen and blessed be. Will you join me now in our sung response? There is a love holding me, there is a love holding us. The words are in the order of service.
heights, insects that bite or sting, the dentist, clowns. These are just some of the things I'm afraid of. I'm sure many of you have similar fears, but today I want to talk about something many of us are afraid of but never seem to talk about: asking for help. As individuals, we all have our own strengths and weaknesses. It makes sense that no one person can do everything by themselves. Asking for help is the logical response, not only to get our needs met, but to foster the interdependence that we as UUs value. Everyone struggles with asking for help. Amanda Palmer says in her book, The Art of Asking, "It isn't so much the act of asking that paralyzes us. It is what lies beneath: the fear of being vulnerable, the fear of rejection, the fear of looking needy or weak, the fear of being seen as a burdensome member of the community instead of a productive one." In American society, we hold the idea that the older you are, the more independent you're supposed to be. By the time we reach adulthood, we are expected to be more or less self-sufficient. To be anything less is frequently seen as a failure. This ideal that is upheld in an effort to motivate action and instill responsibility instead works to proliferate shame. And it is shame that pollutes the environment of asking and giving that thrives on trust and openness. In her book, How to Keep House While Drowning, Casey Davis says, "No one has ever been shamed into better mental health." I'm sure all of us have felt shame before. It is not a comfortable feeling. Shame makes it incredibly difficult for us to see ourselves as worthy. When we talk about the first principle, the inherent worth and dignity of every person, the focus is usually on others, but sometimes the person it is hardest to see as worthy is ourselves. Brené Brown defines shame as the intensely painful feeling or experience of believing that we are flawed and therefore unworthy of love and belonging. Something we've experienced, done, or failed to do makes us unworthy of connection. There are many reasons why we may feel unworthy of help. Our childhoods play a huge role in how we see ourselves in the world and how we navigate it. The cultures and communities we are a part of can also shape our self-worth for better or worse. Traumatic events understandably change our feelings of self. However, there is also significant impact of our experiences and learned behaviors that don't come from trauma. For example, I was having severe itching, so my primary doctor sent me to a dermatologist. From the moment I walked into that dermatology office, I felt shame. All of the chairs were too small for me to sit in comfortably, and my shame only grew as the person leading me back to the exam room quickly outpaced me with no care that I was struggling to catch up. The chair in the exam room was even smaller, to the point where I got stuck in it. When the dermatologist finally came in, I was already stewing in so much shame that advocating for myself when she proceeded to dismiss all of my concerns and questions was much more difficult. I would love to tell you that when I left the office, I was feeling nothing but anger at being treated so poorly. But the truth is, while I tried to focus on the lack of accommodation and care, there was a not insignificant voice in the back of my head saying that I deserved to suffer with this health condition alone. We seem to be much better at coming to the rescue of others than showing ourselves a bit of compassion. Yet self-compassion is a fundamental tool in overcoming shame. Self-compassion is extending compassion to oneself in instances of perceived inadequacy, failure, or general suffering. While the definition seems pretty straightforward, like many things in life, the execution can be difficult. There are many things that can keep us from showing kindness to ourselves. It's possible you could have negative associations with the idea of self-compassion due to your upbringing. Perhaps you are worried that being self-compassionate will open the floodgates to difficult emotions that you are unable to cope with. Or maybe, like many people, you are extremely self-critical, judgmental, or find yourself frequently blaming or putting yourself down. When I'm struggling to be kind to myself, there are 3 things I do to make it easier. First, I remind myself that I am a person who is capable of amazing things, but that it is okay not to be perfect. It is okay to make mistakes. Everyone does. I am a human being, and by that virtue of being human, I am worthy of love and respect. I am deserving of happiness and grace. And not only am I worthy and deserving of these things, I am capable of giving them to myself. Often, though, that nice little pep talk is not enough. Usually, I have to move on to step 2. The second thing I do is ask myself, if I had a good friend going through the exact same situation, what would I say to them? This directly taps into our ability to be kinder to others than we are to ourselves. I would never tell a beloved friend that they deserve to suffer. Reminding myself that if everyone else deserves compassion, so do I, is a huge help when I am being particularly hard on myself. Finally, I gently remind myself that while my feelings are valid and shame is not my fault, my current thoughts and/or behaviors are not helpful. I ask myself, with all the compassion and grace I can muster, what is my next best choice right now? Sometimes that means acknowledging and processing difficult emotions and feelings. Sometimes that means being vulnerable and asking for help. And sometimes that means cutting ties with people and things that do not support or respect me the way I need and deserve. The foundations of our faith community reaffirm the need for self-compassion. The first 3 principles directly illuminate our shared values of how to treat people. The first principle, the inherent worth and dignity of every person, reminds us that we, along with every other person, are worthy of happiness, love, dignity, and respect. The second principle, justice, equity, and compassion in human relations, reminds us that we, along with every other person, deserves help and compassion. And the third principle, acceptance of one another and encouragement to growth, reminds us that we, along with every other person, are capable of mistakes, but we are also capable of growth and change. Compassion and asking for help are skills that take time and practice to master. Hopefully, by going through the 3 steps of reminding ourselves that we are human, asking how we could treat a friend, and thinking about what our next best choice is, we can become better at both. But what if we're still struggling to give ourselves grace that we deserve? Perhaps we can reframe our need for help in a different light. Those who care about us want us to have happiness, love, and respect too. I run an online community of LGBTQ+ adults and allies, and when I hear one of them being mean or super critical of themselves, I say, hey, be nice to my friend, please. This is usually met with, I was only being mean to myself, to which I respond, you are my friend, and I do not like it when people are mean to my friends. And it's these same friends that care about us, who want to be there for us and support us. Ye-Yoon Kim discusses in her TED Talk about how people we ask for help are those that we trust. She says, being asked for help is a privilege, a gift for you to do something for someone, especially when it's coming from their place of vulnerability. My good friend, Nick Dembski, told me the same thing. He said, asking people for help is a gift, Alex. By not asking, you are denying people the opportunity to help you. After that disastrous visit to the dermatologist, I went back to my primary doctor and asked her to prescribe something for my itchy skin and a referral to a different dermatologist. The reason I was able to advocate for my needs with my doctor was because I had reminded myself that I deserve help. I deserve happiness and respect. And just as I deserve help, happiness, love, and respect, you deserve help, happiness, love, and respect too. Please rise in body and spirit to join us in a hymn that number is in the order of service because it's not on my thingy up here. How could anyone? 1053.
Thank you, Alex. I think we're all crying, Alex. I think everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Goosebumps. Let's just take a breath. We can do hard things, beloveds. We hold one another in this spirit of practice and care and love, reminding how deeply connected we are to one another. We extinguish our chalice. And hold on to the light shared in community, that light that lives in each of us, reminding us that we are connected, held always in a larger love.
Before we end today's service, I would like to do a quick affirmation exercise with you. If you could please repeat after me. I am whole.
I am whole.
I am enough.
I am enough.
Oh, this is harder than I imagined. I am not my mistakes.
I am not my mistakes.
I am doing the best I can.
I am doing the best I can.
I deserve help and happiness.
I deserve help and happiness.
I am worthy of love and respect.
I am worthy of love and respect.
Go forth in kindness and compassion for yourselves and one another as we continue the work of building a beloved community. Thank you.